Yes, and I have my girl, one of my best friends ever, host of Whitney's Women. She's here for another edition. Whitney Reynolds is here.
Well, it is so nice to be in the Kiss FM studio with you, Brady. You know, I see you online all the time, and so it is so nice to have a little face-to-face and talk big topics with you today.
I love it.
So,
you got a big one today.
Today we do. It is amazing because the woman that I have sitting to my left is really one that screams resilience, and that's actually what we're talking about. So, Kelly Kitley, welcome to Whitney's Women.
Awesome. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
So you are here to talk about an event that you have coming up. The company is originally called Rape Victim Advocates, and that's something that has been around in Chicago for years.
44 years.
For 44 years, but
Yep.
they did switch their name just now to Resilience, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you personally are very resilient. Tell us about your story.
Sure. So I grew up above my parents' bar in Lincoln Park and always wanted to become a social worker. And when I was studying at the University of Illinois at Chicago, I was sexually assaulted on the streets as a random act of violence. And through that experience, I've become an advocate and an author and a psychotherapist. And resilience met me at the hospital when the event happened for me and really started my healing process. So I've been speaking out and helping them raise money and advocating for women to get help and trying to work on prevention as well.
We actually did a show on rape, and it was with Rape Victim Advocates, which is now Resilience. And one thing I did not know, and Brady, I don't know if you know this, but if anything like this comes up and you are attacked or raped, they meet you at the hospital. They assign someone to you. And it's free of charge, right?
Absolutely. And
Wow.
they just come, I mean, it was like an angel in my experience. I had such a horrific encounter with the police. It happened in public. Nobody came to my help. And then all of a sudden I arrive at Illinois Masonic and an advocate comes in and holds my hand the entire way. It was life-changing for me.
I mean, it's one of those things where there's so much probably going through your head at that time. And you're freaking out, and you're scared, and you're nervous, and you don't know who to talk to. But this is the most important thing. What we're talking about right now is the education and knowing that
Right.
that there are people that can help you right off the bat.
And then link you with services. I was able to get group therapy and individual therapy as a college student for free.
And I know me, like, being raised in the South, we were kind of taught, me personally, like, don't share your baggage, keep it to yourself. And I know my first instinct, if this happened to me in college, would have been like, I am so nervous to share this. And they know exactly what to do. They tell you it's healthy to talk about it, you know, to go through counseling.
Yeah, it's part of the healing process, and being able to share my experience, strength, and hope with other survivors helps me as well as helps them heal.
And so you've been involved with it. Was it since the incident?
Well, I was living in California and came back and opened Serendipitous Psychotherapy on Michigan Avenue and have been linked with them for several years and spoke at their biggest fundraiser last week with Tarana Burke, the Me Too founder. And we're doing a Soul Cycle fundraiser to raise money so people can have free therapy services. And that will be at Soul Cycle Southport on Sunday.
The 24th?
The 24th, you got it, at 2 p.m.
And the money is going back to Resilience. That is so cool. So how do people sign up? How do they find out to get involved with this?
People can sign up through a GoFundMe page called Kelly Kitley and Rape Victim Advocates. It has the old name because we launched it a few months ago. And they can register and reserve a bike straight through there, or can reach out to me on Facebook at Kelly Kitley, and there's a link to register on there as well.
And these kind of events fund everything we were just talking about. It funds, you know, the fact that people can go into the hospital and get the right counseling, get the right help. And I'm sure there's a lot of process that you don't know what you should do for your own safety and health whenever this would happen. And that's what Resilience does.
Yeah, and they train people. They train volunteers to do the work. And the work that they're doing is just incredible.
Oh, that is amazing. So again, tell us the date.
The date is Sunday, June 24th at 2 p.m. at Soul Cycle on Southport.
And people can get involved by going on Facebook and finding it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on and being one of our women. Is there anything else you want the viewers or listeners to know about?
I want anybody who might be listening today to know that you are never alone, and you don't need to necessarily do what I'm doing and stand on a platform and share your experience, but find one trusted person that you don't have to live in silence and suffer alone. Find somebody you can trust and start that healing process.
Is there a way to be proactive? I mean, let's just say maybe you're not a victim, or you don't even know somebody that is a victim necessarily, but you want to get involved in this. Is there a way to stay ahead of the curve and to kind of educate yourself?
Oh, absolutely. I suggest every person, male or female, take a self-defense class. And that can really empower people and feel like they have some control in maybe an incident that they may not feel that they have control in, and being able to change the conversation, not engaging in humor and things that might belittle victims or survivors or people who might be, at a party drinking and might be left alone and might be putting themselves in a really high-risk situation. So a lot of it is just the awareness of that.
Well, and it's so interesting because we live in a day and age where we're on our phones all the time. And I was walking home with my twins, and this guy literally came up behind me, took one of my earbuds out and said, "Sister, keep it safe, one earbud out." And I said, "Thank you so much." And it was so interesting because at first I was like, what is happening? But it's so true. Like, we get caught up in just going from A to B that sometimes we're not aware of our settings, and that's when predators prey.
And you become a target. So
Yeah.
it's being mindful about your surroundings.
And I love the self-defense idea. Yeah. Oh.
That it helped save my life. I mean, I was able to break free because I had taken a self-defense class.
Well, that is awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on. Brady, it has been wonderful being in the studio with you.
Yeah, always great to see you, Whitney. Now, what do you have coming up? I know there's always some stuff. This girl is never, you see her on social media. She is go, go, go. What do you got coming up, Whitney?
It is go, go, go. But the Whitney Reynolds Show, we're on every Monday night at 6:30. I want people to get caught up on our latest season, so you can check it out on Lakeshore PBS. That's every Monday at 6:30. We also had a book launch, so we are giving our viewers a tangible tool to go through and find all sorts of inspiration during the week whenever our show's not on. So I'm really excited about that. We have a lot of events coming up with the book, so make sure to go to our Twitter or Facebook. You can just type Whitney Reynolds in your search and you will find us.
And you'll be inspired all day by all Whitney Reynolds posts, because they are really inspirational.
that
it's
is-
motivation Monday through Sunday, Whitney. It really is.
I love that. Well, thank you for having us in. And, I just want to say this again. Like, I am so thankful that iHeart is dedicated to sharing stories like Kelly's, and to have a segment that's dedicated to women. This is a big thing, and I'm so thankful that you were bold enough to come on, share your story, and that you're helping others through this event.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For more information, check out WhitneyReynolds.com or get social with us. Twitter @Whitney Reynolds or on Facebook, The Whitney Reynolds Show.